Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed how in this world, the things that are visible are often the ones that get the most value? In business, in careers, even in relationships, what is seen is what is sold. Jo Dikhta hai, wo Bikta hai. But let me ask you, does that mean what is unseen has no value? Does it mean substance is less important than appearance? Today, I want to share with you the balance between being visible and being valuable. Because in life, it is not just about how much people see you, but also about what they see in you. When we talk about perception creating value, we must understand how deeply it affects our personal and professional lives. From the very moment you walk into a room, people begin to form opinions about you, even before you speak a single word. It is the reality of the human mind that it responds to what it sees, and often those first impressions create a lasting memory that can shape the way people treat you, the way they think of you, and even the way they choose to engage with you. Imagine you are attending a job interview. Before you even open your mouth, the way you are dressed, the way you carry yourself, your expressions, your posture, all silently communicate something about you. The interviewer begins to perceive your confidence, your seriousness, and your attention to detail just by observing your external presence. In that moment, your perception has already started to create value or diminish it. Think about products in the market. Two items might be of the same quality, but the one with attractive packaging will often be picked first. Why? Because perception has created value. The same principle applies to people. A person may have extraordinary talent, skills, and knowledge, but if they fail to make themselves visible in a presentable way, the world may overlook them. On the other hand, someone with average talent but excellent visibility often gets ahead. This may seem unfair, but it is a reality we cannot ignore. It is not to say that substance does not matter, but in a world that notices before it listens, what people see first often determines whether they will give you the chance to show them your depth. This truth is not only about professional life, but also about personal interactions. Think of your relationships, friendships, or even casual encounters with strangers. If you appear approachable, warm, and genuine, people will be drawn to you. If you appear careless, uninterested, or arrogant, people may avoid you, no matter how good your heart truly is. Again, perception is creating value. It is the lens through which others evaluate whether they want to connect with you or not. But here comes the deeper layer. While perception has power, it must be backed by substance. Because if you only create a strong perception without real value behind it, the illusion will eventually collapse. However, the starting point is always perception. It opens the door. It gives people the willingness to look deeper into who you really are. If you don't make an effort to project yourself well, that door may remain shut forever. Therefore, perception is not about faking or pretending. It is about aligning the outside with the inside. It is about making sure that your true abilities, your true worth, and your true personality are not hidden behind neglect or carelessness. So remember this: people will always respond to what they see before they respond to who you are. You cannot control what goes on in someone's mind, but you can definitely control how you present yourself to the world. When you respect yourself enough to present yourself well, others begin to respect you more too. And in that process, you create value in the minds of people long before you even prove your worth. That is the power of perception. It creates a stage on which your real self can finally shine. Visibility is opportunity, and this is one of the greatest truths of life that many people fail to realize. You may be extremely talented, you may be deeply skilled, you may have ideas that could change the world, but if nobody sees you, if nobody knows what you can offer, your potential remains locked inside. It's like having a diamond hidden in the depths of the earth. Until it is brought to the surface, polished, and displayed, people will not recognize its worth. The diamond is valuable whether hidden or visible, but only when it becomes visible does it have the power to influence, to be appreciated, and to be sought after. In life, countless individuals remain unnoticed simply because they never allow their work, their voice, or their presence to be seen. They hide behind hesitation, self-doubt, or the belief that if they are truly good, people will eventually find them. But the truth is, in today's world, invisibility often equals missed opportunities. No matter how great you are, if you are invisible, you remain unchosen. A singer with a golden voice who never dares to step on stage will never be discovered. A writer with profound wisdom who keeps all their words locked in a diary will never touch leaves. A professional with brilliant skills who never shows confidence in meetings will never be promoted. It is not because they lack talent, it is because they lack visibility. Think about how the modern world functions. Social media, communication platforms, public speaking, networking, these are all tools of visibility. If you make yourself seen, you invite opportunities. If you remain hidden, you miss them. It does not mean you should chase the spotlight for ego or attention. Rather, it means you should recognize that the light allows people to notice your value. Once people notice, doors begin to open. Someone remembers your words, someone recalls your contribution, someone recognizes your presence. That small recognition can lead to connections, opportunities, and growth you could have never imagined. Let us look at nature for a moment. A flower blooming in a forest where no one goes may still be beautiful. But when that same flower blooms in a garden where people walk by, it spreads joy, it inspires, and it leaves an impression on those who see it. Its beauty has not changed, only its visibility has. Similarly, when you choose to show up, when you choose to step out of your comfort zone and allow your skills, your thoughts, and your personality to be seen, you magnify the chances of your life being transformed. This is why visibility is opportunity. Each time you put yourself out there, each time you raise your hand, share your ideas, participate actively, or showcase your work, you are planting seeds of future possibilities. Someone who sees you today might remember you tomorrow. Someone who notices your effort today may open a door for you years later. That one act of making yourself visible can completely alter the direction of your life. So ask yourself, are you hiding behind your abilities, waiting for the world to find you? Or are you taking steps to make yourself visible so the world knows what you bring to the table? Visibility is not arrogance. It is awareness. It is saying, I have been given something valuable and I will not bury it in the ground. The moment you start being visible, you begin to create opportunities, not just for yourself, but for everyone who can benefit from what you offer. And that is how visibility becomes the bridge between who you are and who you are meant to become. Packaging matters, and the world gives us examples of this truth every single day. Walk into a supermarket and notice how two products of almost the same quality are displayed. One is wrapped in a dull, unattractive packet, while the other is beautifully designed with appealing colors, clear labeling, and a sense of care in its presentation. Even if the contents are nearly identical, most customers will instinctively pick the one that looks more appealing. Why? Because presentation shapes perception, and perception guides choice. This is not just about marketing products. This is about life itself. The way you package yourself, the way you dress, speak, behave, and present your ideas determines how others respond to you. We live in a world where people often see the packaging before they experience the substance. A book may contain the deepest wisdom, but if its cover looks unattractive, many will never open it to discover the treasures inside. Similarly, a person may have incredible depth, kindness, and intelligence, but if they appear careless, disorganized, or unapproachable, many will never make the effort to know them better. This may seem superficial, but it is reality. Packaging is the invitation that makes people curious to explore what lies within. If your outer presentation does not communicate care, clarity, and confidence, people may never stay long enough to discover your true value. Now, packaging does not mean faking or pretending to be something you are not. It does not mean creating a false image. It means presenting yourself in a way that reflects your inner qualities with dignity. When you dress neatly, it communicates self-respect. When you speak with clarity, it communicates confidence. When you smile genuinely, it communicates warmth. These small elements of packaging allow people to perceive the value you actually carry inside. Without packaging, your substance may remain hidden in the shadows. Think of an artist. He may have the most beautiful paintings, but if they are displayed in a poorly lit room with dust on the frames and no effort to arrange them well, people will not see their full beauty. The same paintings, displayed in a clean, well-lit gallery, immediately receive admiration. The paintings have not changed, but the packaging has transformed the way people experience them. Similarly, your skills and character may be extraordinary, but if you fail to package them properly, the world may not recognize their brilliance. This is why self-presentation is so important in both personal and professional life. When you enter a meeting, when you interact with friends, when you step onto a stage, or even when you create a profile online, you are packaging yourself. Ask yourself, does my packaging reflect my substance? Does it communicate my seriousness, my authenticity, my confidence, and my values? Packaging is not vanity, it is responsibility. Because if you do not present yourself well, you do not just do injustice to yourself, you also deprive others of the chance to benefit from what you carry within. Great leaders, teachers, and communicators have always understood this principle. They package their message with stories, analogies, and emotions so that people listen. They package their appearance with dignity so that people respect them. They package their actions with consistency so that people trust them. Packaging makes the first connection between you and the world, and once that connection is made, substance takes over to sustain it. So remember, packaging is not the replacement for substance. but it is the doorway to it. The world may not always look deep right away, but if your packaging is strong, it will encourage them to look further. A gift beautifully wrapped creates curiosity and joy, and only then do people open it to see the treasure inside. Your life, your abilities, your character, they are the gift. Packaging is the wrapping that ensures people are willing to open it and experience the value you bring. While appearance attracts, only true value retains. And this is a principle that we see proven in every corner of life. The outer shine may get attention, but if the inner core is hollow, people eventually walk away. A flashy cover might make someone pick up a book, but if the story inside lacks depth, the reader will put it down and never return. A brand may launch with stunning advertisements, glamorous packaging, and loud promotions, but if the product does not deliver quality, customers will never come back. In the same way, in life, our external appearance may give us a temporary edge, but it is our substance, our skills, our character, and our authenticity that determines whether people will stay connected with us. Think about human relationships. When you meet someone for the first time, their appearance, their charm, or even their confidence might draw you in. But what keeps you in the relationship is not their looks, it is their kindness, their integrity, their reliability, and their ability to understand you. If all they had was external attraction without internal value, the relationship would soon feel empty. It is the same with friendships, with professional networks, and with leadership. A leader may appear strong and commanding, but if he lacks vision, empathy, or competence, people will eventually stop following him. Appearance creates the introduction, but value sustains the bond. We live in a world that often celebrates glamour, style, and presentation. And yes, those things have their place. They help us be noticed. But what happens after people notice us? What happens once the spotlight is on us? That is where substance comes in. Without it, the spotlight can be more harmful than helpful. Because when people realize that the show was only on the surface, disappointment follows. But when the spotlight reveals a depth of wisdom, sincerity, and ability, then the attraction grows into respect, and respect grows into loyalty. Take an example from nature. A flower's bright color and fragrance attract bees and butterflies. But it is not the color alone that makes them return again and again. It is the nectar within. Without nectar, the flower might still look beautiful, but soon the visitors will move on in search of something real. In the same way, your external presence might make people curious, but it is your inner worth, your authenticity, your values, your contributions that will make them stay. In professional life, many people get opportunities because they present themselves well, and that is good. But only those who can back up their appearance with real performance, real delivery, and real integrity will continue to grow. The corporate world is full of individuals who shined briefly and then faded because they could not match the promise of their image with the reality of their work. On the other hand, those who combine good appearance with strong character create long-term impact. This is why both elements must go hand in hand. Appearance is the door, but substance is the foundation. If the door is inviting, people will step in, but if the foundation is weak, they will not stay. If the door is closed, they may never even enter. But if you manage to open the door with appearance and strengthen it with substance, you create a complete balance that leads to enduring respect and trust. So do not be fooled by the illusion that appearance alone will carry you far. It may carry you for a while, but sooner or later, the world will test what lies beneath. And when that moment comes, it is your true value that will speak louder than your appearance ever could. The glow of external beauty may fade, but the radiance of inner strength lasts a lifetime. Work on your substance as much as your show, because in the long run, it is not how many people notice you that matters. It is how many people truly value you and choose to remain connected with you because of who you really are. Communication is key, and no matter how intelligent, talented, or skilled you may be, if you cannot express your ideas in a way that others can understand, your value will remain hidden. Communication is the bridge between your inner world and the outer world. It is the tool through which thoughts take shape, through which emotions find meaning, and through which relationships are built. Many brilliant people remain unnoticed, not because they lack ability, but because they struggle to communicate it effectively. On the other hand, there are those with average ability who rise to great positions simply because they know how to present their thoughts clearly, confidently, and persuasively. Think of history's greatest leaders, thinkers, and teachers. They were not just people of great knowledge, they were masters of communication. They had the gift of taking complex ideas and making them simple, relatable, and memorable. Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., Swami Vivekananda, Nelson Mandela, all of them inspired millions, not merely because of their ideas, but because of the way they communicated those ideas to the masses. Their words carried power, clarity, and conviction. People followed them because their communication created connection. In everyday life, communication decides how people perceive you. Imagine sitting in a meeting at work. You might have the best solution to a problem, but if you hesitate, mumble, or lack clarity, the opportunity will pass to someone else who may not even have the better solution, but presents it with confidence. In personal relationships too, how you communicate can either strengthen the bond or weaken it. A kind word spoken at the right time can heal, while a careless word can wound deeply. Communication is not just about words, it is about tone, timing, body language, and intention. It is about making the other person feel understood. Communication also determines influence. People are naturally drawn to those who can articulate thoughts with clarity. A teacher who explains concepts with stories and examples will always be remembered more than one who simply reads from a textbook. A leader who speaks with authenticity and vision will always inspire more than one who only gives instructions. Your communication becomes your signature in people's minds. Long after they forget your qualifications or your achievements, they will remember how you made them feel through the way you spoke. But communication is not just about speaking, it is equally about listening. The best communicators are those who listen deeply, because true communication is a two-way street. When you listen, you understand not just the words, but the emotions behind them. And when people feel understood, they trust you more, they open up more, and they connect with you at a deeper level. That connection itself becomes a source of influence. It is also important to realize that communication is not about using complicated words or speaking in a flowery way. It is about being authentic. It is about being real. Even simple words spoken from the heart can carry more power than eloquent speeches that lack sincerity. Communication must not be a performance, it must be an extension of your truth. That is why people trust communicators who are consistent in words and actions. If your speech says one thing, but your life shows another, your communication loses its credibility. Every opportunity in life, whether professional or personal, is linked to how well you communicate. If you can express your ideas with clarity, people will understand your vision. If you can express your feelings with honesty, people will value your relationships. If you can express your knowledge with humility, people will learn from you. Communication is the thread that ties all aspects of life together. Without it, talent is wasted, relationships are broken, and opportunities are lost. With it, even ordinary abilities can shine brightly. So remember, communication is not just a skill, it is an art. It is not just about speaking, it is about connecting. It is not just about informing, it is about transforming. Every word you speak has the power to uplift or to discourage, to build bridges or to burn them, to open doors or to close them. And when you master communication with clarity, compassion, and conviction, you hold the key to making your value visible to the world in the most powerful way possible. Confidence reflects value, and it is often the silent language that speaks before you utter a single word. The way you stand, the way you walk, the way you look into someone's eyes, and the way you carry yourself sends messages to the world about how much you believe in your own worth. People instinctively respond to confidence because it assures them that you know what you are doing, that you believe in what you are saying, and that you trust yourself enough to be trusted by others. Without confidence, even the greatest skills can remain hidden. With confidence, even ordinary abilities can shine brightly. Think of a student in a classroom who knows the right answer, but is too shy to raise their hand. Their knowledge is real, their intelligence is genuine, but their lack of confidence silences them. Another student may have only a partial answer, but speaks up with assurance, and suddenly the teacher and the class recognize them as engaged and capable. This happens in every field of life. Confidence becomes the bridge between your internal value and external recognition. If you don't believe in yourself, why should others believe in you? Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is rooted in insecurity, while confidence is rooted in self-awareness. Arrogance tries to prove superiority, while confidence simply reflects self-belief. True confidence is calm, steady, and dignified. It does not need to shout, it simply radiates. When you see a leader walk into a room, before they even speak, their confidence sets the tone. When you see a performer step onto the stage, their confidence assures the audience that they are about to witness something meaningful. Confidence tells the world, I am prepared, I am capable, and I value what I bring. Confidence also reflects preparation. People sometimes mistake confidence for a natural gift, but in reality, it often comes from practice, discipline, and experience. A musician who has rehearsed well performs confidently because they know they have put in the work. A professional who has studied thoroughly speaks confidently in meetings because they trust their knowledge. Confidence is not born overnight. It is built step by step by showing up, by failing, by learning, and by rising again. Each time you overcome a challenge, your confidence grows a little more. There is also a spiritual dimension to confidence. When you believe that life is guided, that you are not alone, and that a higher power supports you, your confidence takes on a deeper strength. You no longer rely only on your abilities. You trust that the universe, or God, is walking with you. This kind of confidence does not break easily because it is not rooted in ego but in faith. It allows you to face difficulties with calmness, knowing that no matter what happens, you will be able to handle it. Confidence reflects value in another way. It shows others that you value yourself. If you enter a room with your head down, your shoulders slouched, and your voice trembling, it silently communicates that you doubt your own worth. But if you walk in with a steady posture, a warm smile, and clear speech, you are telling the world, I respect myself, and I know I have something meaningful to offer. And when you respect yourself, others are more likely to respect you too. People mirror the way you treat yourself. If you project confidence, people will perceive your value more strongly. In relationships too, confidence plays a vital role. A confident person is not needy or desperate for approval. They love genuinely, but they do not cling. They communicate openly, but they do not fear rejection. This steadiness creates trust and security. In friendships, in family life, and in love, confidence becomes the foundation on which healthy bonds are built. People feel safe around those who are confident because they sense strength and reliability. Ultimately, confidence is the reflection of inner alignment. When your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony, you naturally feel strong. When you know who you are, when you accept both your strengths and weaknesses, when you commit to growth rather than perfection, confidence becomes your natural state. It is not about being flawless. It is about being authentic. The world does not need you to be perfect. It needs you to be real and courageous enough to show up as you are. So remember, confidence is not something you wait to feel after success. It is something you practice until success arrives. Every time you step forward with confidence, you expand your opportunities. Every time you shrink back in fear, you let opportunities pass. The world respects those who respect themselves. And the most powerful way to show respect for yourself is to reflect it through confidence. That is why confidence is not just a quality, it is a reflection of your value to yourself and to the world.